Good morning, Middle Colonies. I'm William Penn reporting to you from your favorite city, Philadelphia. Now, to kick off your day, we're going to go to Diana Jones to give you a report on how our latest town meeting went.
Last night, a town meeting was held in the square. As most of you know, we have these meetings to make decisions on local issues. Well, this meeting's topic was the English Bill of Rights. The bill is planned to be accomplished in 1689. The idea will be to reduce the powers of the English monarch and protect our rights. All in all, it will make the king responsible to Parliament. Back to you, Will.
Thank you, Diana, for that very informative report, and I am sorry to tell all of our watchers that we had to switch places for me to talk because budget cuts. But now we're going to turn it over to Mark Nutt with 2 T's as to give us an update on our good friend Peter Stuyvesant.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Bill. Back to you.
We aren't getting anything out of Mark Nutt with 2 T's, so I'll give you the latest update on Peter Stuyvesant, who sadly couldn't come in with us today because he has to eat breakfast with his wife and her parents. Sorry, man. Well, Peter was born in 1592 in the Netherlands and established our court of justice. What a good man. He has been settled down here in the Middle Colonies because we are way better than the other ones. Thank you.
And we'll be right back with this quick message from your local station.
Hey, bearded lady, do you want to eat like a man?
I know I do.
Gosh, interrupt your munch. Well, if you want to eat like a man, you have to eat like William Penn, the guy under the table.
That's me.
You have to eat Quaker oats. They're nutritious and delicious.
I just want to take this special interruption to tell you how amazing I am. I'm William Penn, and I was born in 1644. I was born in London, and my daddy, he's a wealthy admiral. And I'm a Quaker. I preach it. And us Quakers, we believe in equality between everybody, men and women and all races, and we accept all religions, but we still think ours is pretty good. And I'm in Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, and I live in Pennsylvania because it's pretty cool, and it's like the other Middle Colonies. It's pretty sweet, better than New England and Southern Colonies because we're just good like that.
Whoa, those guys are fighting down there. I think they're talking about the Middle Colonies, and who knows more about what. Watch this be on the news tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Breaking news. It has just come in that the Oat brothers are having an argument on who holds more knowledge about the place they call home. We have video sent in by an unknown source. Hey, bet you 20 pence I know more than you.
On.
Did you know that women here run farms and businesses such as grocery stores and clothing?
CP3. Of course I did. But did you know that we play a big part in the triangular trade?
Do you even know what triangular trade is?
It's a triangle. Duh, everybody freaking knows that. And a triangle thing is the pattern of colonial trade where slaves are brought on the African Gold Coast with New England rum, then traded to the West Indies for things like sugar or molasses, which was brought back to New England to be manufactured into rum. I didn't just read that from the script. I knew it.
Yeah, well, everybody knows that. Do that. But how about that Philadelphia is almost the largest colonial city? We're growing faster than New York, man. And that our good climate is like amazing and rich, and it helps us grow a large amount of staple crops.
I bet you don't even know what those are. Staple crops are probably crops that are staples, but they also, that staple crops are crops that we grow all year long because they're in constant demand.
Yeah, well,
you can't buy those type of crops.
That is so what I was gonna say, man. Alright? So, but just admit it, I know way more than you. Like, that our workforce is mainly made up of slaves, like the ones that work in shipbuilding and carpentry and blacksmiths and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Are you sure? Well, did you know that we have loads of iron in our soil?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it an ideal place for mining and industry. Also, we have lots of rivers. Like, but as farmers especially like the rivers of the Valley Hudson and Mohawk. Do you even know which ones I'm talking about?
Of course I know which ones you're talking about. I go fishing on those ones practically every week, and I watch people cut down our forests for wood to give to the shipbuilders.
I still think I won the bet.
Oh, you're not getting 20 pence?
That was an interesting argument. And now we're going to go back to Mark Nutt with 2 T's so he can try to give us some more information on the Middle Colonies.
I am Mark Nutt with 2 T's, and now I can pronounce things in this topic. I have to talk about one of the darker parts of the Middle Colonies. I can't talk today, I'm stupid. And the Middle Passage was whenever people went down to Africa, took slaves back over here on little tiny boats that barely had any room for them. They would store about 300 to 400 slaves down on the bottom deck where they would lie in other filth, which would allow disease to spread to other people very easily. I'm not using my microphone, by the way. It's a pencil. And 10 million of the 20 million slaves died. Well, 20 million of the slaves that were abducted. And 10 million of them died. It's a lot. Most of them were from disease, injury from being abducted, and also starvation and dehydration.
I'm sorry for that malfunction, guys. We are now back to Quaker in the morning. Thank you.
I'm going to talk about the daily life in the Middle Colonies, and it's pretty much what you would expect it to be, very boring. It wasn't very special, and women usually did chores while the men worked. Very sexist of them back then. In the schoolhouses, kids were taught religion, prayer, how to read, write, and manners. There were many races and religions in the Middle Colonies, like the English, Dutch, Swedish, German, Scots, Irish, and French. The religions were Mennonite, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Dutch, Calvinist, Jews, Lutheran, Presbyterian, and Quaker, as Mr. Will is. Many of the colonies lived on small farms that grew wheat, corn, barley, pumpkins, rye, flax, potatoes, and peas. Normal houses were made from wood, but rich people usually had bigger houses made of brick. Back to Will.
We are having trouble reaching William Penn at this time, so now I will send you off to one of our fellow Quakers. He will let you know why us, the Middle Colonies, we are definitely the best.
The Middle Colonies are better because we have no witches, which means no burning at the stake. We have better crops and more fertile soil. That makes us better than your northern colonies. And we have Quakers who accept everyone just the way they are. And slaves should come here because the work isn't as hard.
Great facts to why the Middle Colonies are like way super better than New England and Southern.
This is an example of what a farm or a field would have looked like in the Middle Colonies. As you can see, the very fertile soil helped produce many crops. If you look at the map, you can notice that wheat and corn was a very common product across the colonies. If you notice, New York and Philadelphia are in the middle of all this. This is why the Middle Colonies were known as the breadbasket colonies.
Quick video that our producers have come together to summarize just how great we are.
Let's go ahead and take a quick overview of what we learned today about the Middle Colonies.
The Middle Colonies can be remembered with the phrase two new dramatic preachers: New York, New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. They had pretty good soil in the Middle Colony. It was great for growing grain. So the industries that developed around their agriculture. They became known as the breadbasket of the colonies as they grew wheat, barley, and rye, the grains that are used for most breads. They were also able to raise cattle and pigs, so they had beef and pork and butter. All of these things could be grown or raised in such amounts that they could sell the extra as a cash crop, which was a great boon to the colonies. The primary religions were the Quakers, the Protestants, and the Catholics.
You guys have pretty much learned everything about the Middle Colonies. We're going to teach it to you guys in a rap. Roll it.
What's that on that beat? Oh.
In the Middle Colonies, Slavery is obsolete, timber in my way still. Ain't nobody stopping me, these prices are still something like a robbery. Imports, exports, traders, forward scan, money, no problem with turning it to 13. Original is permanent. The middle is wealthy, the people are healthy. Flow so sick, tell the doctor please help me. About year-round growing season, hot like Tabasco. Straight up commando, selling out tobacco. Dwindling cash crops, like today's now flash mob. The middle colony is a part of me. Me and D get your blood flowing through your arteries.
Yeah. Trying to sell the middle, invest for the best. No second guess, no time for arrest. Green and rice, money here for the best, better than the rest. So we're going rich like the money in my wallet. 9 more months and I'm hitting up your wallet. Fur and fish and I ain't talking about ski. I'm going so fresh like Adidas on my feet. And I ain't talking about purple, but we going so indigo. We got my cattle in now, it's time to go. It's life.
Hey guys, I'm going to finish this off with a PowerPoint to recap everything we've learned today. The middle colonies included New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, and their main products were grain, livestock, iron, and furs. Farming in the middle colonies had many advantages: the rich soil, the mild climate, the long growing season, and the deep rivers. Because of good soil and climate, people could produce crops to sell. These became known as cash crops, crops grown to sell for profit, and they produced so much grain that the middle colonies were also began to be called the breadbasket colonies. Many farmers in the middle colonies shipped their goods to Philadelphia and New York. They shipped them via the Delaware River and the Hudson River. Owning land was very important to the colonists. 5 families owned most of the land, and their estates could cover up to 2 million acres. The owner or patron ran their estates like tiny kingdoms, and the people who farmed the land had to pay rent. By the mid-1700s, Philadelphia and New York were the 2 largest cities in the colonies. They were important trading and manufacturing centers, and their streets were paved with brick or cobblestone. They were lined with shops and inns. The colonies did not have any single religion that was more powerful than the others. Religions included Roman Catholic, Jewish, Amish, Mennonite, Calvinist, and the Quakers.